feel productive. You listened to a podcast on discipline while making breakfast, and you did absolutely nothing. Not one thing changed, not one skill built, not one decision made, not one uncomfortable action taken. You consumed, and you called it growth. That is what we are talking about today. Not laziness, not procrastination. Something far more dangerous, because it feels exactly like progress while producing none. You are not improving, you are consuming. And the difference is destroying you slowly, while you feel good about it. Your brain cannot tell the difference between learning something and doing something. Read that again. When you watch a video about discipline, your brain releases the same dopamine it would release if you actually became disciplined. When you save a post about waking up at 5 a.m., your brain registers partial credit. When you finish a podcast episode about Stoicism, your brain files it under growth achieved. This is called the pseudo-progress loop, and it is the most comfortable trap ever built for intelligent people. Here is what it looks like in real life. You want to get fit, so you watch fitness content for 3 weeks before going to the gym once. You want to build a business, so you consume entrepreneur podcasts for 6 months before writing one email. You want to develop discipline, so you watch discipline channels every single day and remain exactly as undisciplined as you were when you started. The consumption feels like the work. It isn't. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Confine yourself to the present." Not the content about the present, not the philosophy about the present itself, the actual moment, the actual action. He didn't read about being emperor. He governed. You are reading about the life you want. You are not living it. Let's be precise, because this is where most people get defensive. Consuming information is not useless. Knowledge has value, but there is a threshold, and you crossed it months ago. After that threshold, every additional hour of consumption does 3 things. First, it replaces action. Every hour you spend watching someone else build something is an hour you did not build anything. The content fills the psychological space where the work was supposed to go. You feel full. You do nothing. Second, it creates an illusion of identity. You watch Stoic content. You begin to feel like a Stoic. You consume discipline videos. You begin to identify as a disciplined person without doing a single disciplined thing. This is identity without behavior. It is the most dangerous form of self-deception available. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." You cannot embody what you only consume. You can only embody what you do, repeatedly under resistance, when it costs something. Third, it lowers your threshold for discomfort. Every hour of passive consumption trains your brain to expect stimulation without effort. Without friction, without cost, real skill building is slow. It is frustrating. It produces no dopamine in the early stages. After months of consuming, your brain finds real work unbearable. Not because you are weak, but because you have trained it to expect reward without resistance. You did this slowly, one video at a time. There are 2 types of people consuming self-improvement content right now. The first type watches a video about discipline and immediately applies one thing from it. They do not finish the playlist. They close the tab. They go do the work. The second type watches the entire playlist, then finds another playlist, then saves it for later, then feels motivated, then does nothing. You are the second type. Otherwise, you would not be here. That is not an insult. It is a diagnosis. The builder uses information as a tool. Picks it up, applies it, puts it up, applies it, puts it down. The consumer uses information as a substitute, picks it up, holds it, never puts it down because putting it down means actually doing something. Viktor Frankl wrote, "Each man is questioned by life, and he can only answer to life by answering for his own life. Life is not asking what you have watched. Life is asking what you have built, what you have done, what you have produced under pressure. Your consumption history is not your answer. Your output is. And right now, your output is close to 0. Here is the brutal part. You already know this. You have known it for a while. You know that the 15th video on discipline is not going to do what the first 14 did not do. You know that saving another post is not the same as taking action. You know that feeling motivated is not the same as being disciplined. You know all of this, and you keep consuming in any way. Why? Because consuming is safe. Building is not. When you consume, you cannot fail. You cannot be judged. You cannot be judged. You cannot produce something bad. You cannot be rejected. You cannot be rejected. You cannot face the evidence that you tried, and it was not enough. Consuming protects your ego from the risk of building every time you open another video instead of opening your work. You are making a choice, a clear, deliberate, self-protective choice. You are choosing the feeling of growth over the reality of it, and that choice compounds. Every single day, 1 day of consuming instead of building, small cost. 1 week, moderate cost. 1 month, significant cost. 1 year, you are exactly where you were, except now you have a library of content you have consumed and zero evidence that any of it changed anything. That is not bad luck. That is the compounding cost of choosing comfort over output every single day. So what do? Not what feels good, what works. Step 1, audit your consumption. For the next 7 days, track every piece of content you consume. Write it down. At the end of the week, count how many hours you consumed and how many hours you produced something. Be honest. The ratio will disturb you. Step 2, apply before you consume again. This is the rule. 1 piece of content, 1 application. Before you watch the next video, apply something from the last one. Before you listen to the next episode, implement 1 thing from the previous one. If you cannot apply it, you did not need it. You were consuming for comfort. Step 3, produce something every single day. It does not matter what. Write 1 paragraph. Make 1 decision. Complete 1 task. Send 1 email. Build 1 thing, however small. The goal is not quality. The goal is the habit of output. The habit of being someone who produces, not just someone who consumes. Marcus Aurelius did not journal for an audience. He wrote privately. Nobody was supposed to read those words. He produced thought, clarity, and decision every day for himself, because production was the discipline. You have been consuming his words for years. He was producing them. Step 4, deliberately reduce consumption. Not eliminate, reduce. Cut your daily content consumption by half. The disc. What you feel when you do this, that is the withdrawal. That is evidence of how deep the dependency goes. That discomfort is also the beginning of actual discipline. I am not telling you that knowledge is worthless. I am telling you that knowledge without application is the most expensive hobby you will ever have. It costs you time, clarity, and the compounding value of action taken early. Every day you consumed instead of built, that day is gone. You cannot recover it. You cannot recover it. You cannot recalculate it. You can only decide what today looks like. The question is not whether you know enough. You know enough. You have known enough for months. The question is whether you will close this video right now and go produce something, or open the next one. One of those answers is growth. The other is just more consumption. No sympathy, no shortcuts, just the truth.